Welcome to the 959 Irwin podcast. This is the first time we're going live today. We have a major event going on here. We have close to 90 businesses here, 400 people that work here. We've had, today alone, we had 130 people sign up. We have a media day that is sponsored by Publify Press, yours truly. And we're gonna meet some awesome entrepreneurs, people doing some great things. I am honored because I have a guest, but also a great friend. We share our office spaces together, and we've been working together here for a few years, right? So Jay Andrea is the attorney for Harris and Christmas. Right? Christmas, like Santa Claus, like Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Wow, you see? So when you go and sign up with her, it's like Christmas, so it's a gift. So she gave me some great advice, and we called it the 959 because we only gonna keep this for 9 minutes and 59 seconds. If you can't explain your business in under 10 minutes, you should be doing it. We have the elevator pitch, we have the 2-minute pitch, and now we have the 959. So tell us a little bit about your business, how long you've been an attorney, because that, everyone wants to be an attorney, right? Everyone wants to be a rapper, an attorney, a singer. Nobody wants to be a publisher. So, I mean, I've always wanted to be a lawyer because I like to argue, but most of the time I lose. So tell me a little bit about your firm, what you guys do, because I definitely want to talk about trademark advice. She gave me some great advice a couple of years ago, and we ran with it. So there's also, we got some good stuff. So talk to me a little about yourself.
Okay, so like I said, I'm Jay Andrea Harris, and thanks for having me. I am one half of Harris and Christmas. We are a corporate law firm, so we represent mostly companies in the business space as well as private equity. So I've been barred for over a decade, but I've been in the legal field since 2007. I've migrated from criminal law, family law, and I've found my niche, my home in corporate law.
So you've been barred, like you would go to a pub for 10 years? No, when people say barred, right? So over 10 years, that's awesome. And then, so you do corporate law. So if I get pulled over, and I can't call you, right? No criminal.
I mean, you can call me if you want to chat, but if you need legal help, honey, you're gonna be in jail. No, I'm just kidding.
So there's corporate law and there's criminal law. She ain't doing that. So we talked about the importance of companies, and not only companies, but we've always said that even if you're looking to start a business, you need to understand the importance of copyright, trademark, registration, and all that. So you told me a while ago the importance of trademarking your business, and you said something that blew my mind. When we were creating our logo, you said, was it a template or was it an original logo? Why did you say that?
Right. So when people are creating logos, you want to make sure they're original, but you also want to know like the source of the element you're using. Okay. So for instance, if you're going to one of these platforms that creates logos for you, oftentimes you won't have the ability to trademark it because it's owned by someone else. Those elements on those platforms, sometimes they give you a license to use them, but not a license to own them.
That is good. So a lot of people go into like these Canvas, they go into like these Fivers, and they hire people, but they don't know where it's coming from. So if it's a template, you want to make sure that you own the original file. Right,
or that you have the ability to actually trademark those elements. Because oftentimes they will just give you a license to use, even if it's just for commercial use. So you just have to read the fine print, read the click wrap to see what you're able to do and what you're not able to do.
Yeah, because my first logo was Publify Press, and we did this about 5 years ago, and I actually did it. And when you start a business, you do everything, right? And then she told me, no, make sure you have your own, element, your own logo. So we actually hired a professional, and we own the design, and we have registered not a patent, just a trademark for it. So what's the difference between the TM and the R?
Okay, so the TM and the R, they both deal with trademarks, but the TM is what's called common law. So the moment you use a mark in commerce, you technically have a trademark. That's the TM, as long as you're using it, but that is limited to a geographic scope. So for instance, let's just say I sell pies and I sell it at the farmer's market only in Brevard County. So I technically, and I'm using my logo, so technically I have a trademark on the mark because, you know, it's identifying the source of goods or services, and it's identifying it to me. However, when you register it with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, that gives you national protection in the contiguous U.S. and all territories.
Wow. So is there, you could also trademark your whatever likeness logo internationally?
You can have a trademark internationally, but you need like a trademark registered with the USPTO, and then that makes it easier to go to other jurisdictions, other countries, and trademark it versus having to do it separately.
So the USPTO is the United States Patent
and Trademark Office.
Trademark Office.
Right.
How long is a trademark process?
Okay, so most people think that it's like instantaneous.
Yeah,
but trademarks actually take a while. So they can take anywhere between 18 and 16 months.
What?
Because there are just so many of them, and it's often a back and forth process. So even after you submit it, you have an agent that's probably going to call you that needs a little more definition, because a lot of people oftentimes try to file for these broad trademarks, not realizing, use is an element to a trademark.
So it's like, is it fair use law or use, what's the?
Use meaning you actually have to use the mark.
Okay.
So I can't just say, okay, Publify press, but I've never used it. So if I file for a trademark under the intent to use, I have so long to actually use it in order for it to be a registered trademark.
So here's a crazy thing, the whole demure, right? That's been like all viral. I'm losing it. So we were talking about that right before the show started, that someone tried to file a patent on that?
Right, trademark.
Trademark.
So the original creator went viral for it, but it appeared that someone else tried to file for it first with the USPTO. But see, that's not how that works. So remember, use is an element of trademark.
Yeah.
So that common law, that TM, this person had been using it online, which has a great presence and a far-reaching. So the individual that filed for the USPTO, they have an uphill battle trying to prove that they are indeed the owners of that trademark.
So I can trademark a phrase, a word,
you can trademark phrases, slogans, logos. You can even trademark colors, smells, all types of things. So think about, I think one of the most famous is the Tiffany blue. Right, that's a trademark.
So the perfume or
the color, the Tiffany blue color of the box. Let's talk.
It's like the Walt Disney font. Is that trademark?
That's a trademark. What is it? The UPS brown. That's a trademark. And even the inside of like a McDonald's, you go in there and you know what aesthetically it looks like. That's called trade dress. The design of something, how it looks. So if you've ever seen the movie Coming to America where they have McDowell's instead of McDonald's, like obviously that's fictitious, but if somebody tried to do that today, like you'd definitely have issues.
So trade dressing is acting like something that's already registered?
No, trade dress is just the aesthetic of something, how it looks.
So what's the difference between like counterfeits and when you counterfeit something, is that legal? Because I've seen a lot of counterfeit stuff here.
Counterfeit?
Yeah.
Well, counterfeits normally are not legal.
Yeah.
However, if you're creating something that's different enough, so one of the rules for trademarking really is confusion in the marketplace. Is your mark so closely related that now your customers have to squint like, is that Publify press or is that like Schmublify press, right? Like how?
So you have to be clear when you're doing a trademark, that the clarity of it.
Right, you want to be clear. You want to make sure that it identifies the source of your goods and services, and it gives you a right to go and protect your brand.
Listen, this is a lot of game we got going on here, because a lot of times, you try to do it yourself, right? And you get these things on Instagram, trademark for $49 or $4.99, and I'm like, yeah, cheap is expensive. So if we have a minute to go. If we want to use your services, how do we contact you?
So you guys can find us at harrisonchristmas.com if you want to see what we're doing on the regular. I am Teddy Love on Instagram, or you can go to Case Closed Law on Instagram, and always feel free to give us a call at 321-477-3168.
Listen, this is awesome. Listen, once again, stay on top, 9:59. You're going to want to hit that subscribe button, because what we're giving you today is DIY to DIFM. This is great knowledge. So be on the lookout. Jay, it's always an honor. We've known each other for a few years, and thank you for being part of the 959, the first guest at the 959 Irwin podcast. Thank you so much. We have a lot of great content coming up.